For your professional development work time today, I'd like every one of you to use this time to benefit your students. Everyone needs to create a Tier 1 reading intervention anticipated plan based on looking at your upcoming core instruction and using your assessments, formative, common formative, summative assessments, gathering the data on your students, and then being able to anticipate what interventions you're going to need to use for your students. The one resource that we will all be using similar will be the Jan Richardson Guided Reading Plan. I have this transitional guided reading plan pulled up on Google Docs, but you can utilize these documents from your Yellow Jan book. She also has the Emergent Guided Reading Plan and the Early Guided Reading Plan. Keep in mind that through our study of these guided reading lessons, we've learned that there are really two focuses of her guided reading time, and that is going to be the teaching point that sort of is preset depending on the book that you are using for that group of students, but then it's the strategy focus that's teacher determined based on your students' needs. That is what we're focused on today. That is going to be our Tier 1 reading intervention. So from there, everyone's lessons, assessments, and student groups will look different. But I'm going to model a little bit of this process with a third grade lesson, assessment, and student group. So I'm going to pull up that third grade, lesson plan, looking ahead at this week of instruction. This third grade teacher is using the chapter book, The Chocolate Touch, to instruct on the standards of using point of view of characters and character traits within the story. And these third grade teachers have a pretty formal assessment that they're going to be giving, and from there they can analyze the data of how their students are doing in terms of mastery of these standards. But yours may be even just a daily lesson check that you know that you're going to use at the end of a lesson that will help you determine what, bringing it back again, your strategy focus is. So in this case, these third grade teachers might be looking at analyzing their assessment data and find that there's a group of students in their class that were not able to use character traits to describe John Midas. On that data, they'll look ahead at their student reading groups for guided reading. They may find that there is a pre-existing group that already really has that same strategy focus. They also might find that they need to make some changes to some of their groups. Maybe this student down here got it, this student up here didn't. And so for that week of guided reading, there will be a little bit of adjustment in that student's placement so that we can make sure that at the Tier 1 level, we are hitting that first line of defense and meeting those students' needs. So now that I know that I'm looking at the character traits, and yours again will be a different need, I'm going to look at the resources that I have through Jan Richardson, and I'm going to go to her yellow book and see the modules at the end of the book that are really scaffolded really nicely for the activities I should be doing for students at each level. And for this strategy, determining character traits, I'm going to look ahead and notice that the character feelings activities are really going to be the best fit for this group. So I'm going to make sure that I'm choosing a fictional story at this group's reading level, that I will plan ahead to utilize character feelings activities during my teaching points section so that I can hit the strategy focus. Once I have that down, I know that I'm meeting that Tier 1 reading intervention need for that group, and I'll continue to work with them through the week of the guided reading lessons until I get to that final stage where I can assess their progress on the skills we've been focused on through their guided writing, and see if then at that point they've achieved mastery beyond what they were able to do on that assessment, or if I need to continue working with them to make sure that they get it before they fully move on to the next skill. So this is a work time that you have, and I will be here to help you, stopping around to every table, and I can help you gather any resources that